channel is for entertainment purposes only, not to be taken as legal advice. Welcome back, everybody. It's Tuesday. Wow. All right. What an exciting weekend it was. I got to celebrate my birthday. I want to thank everybody for the amazing birthday wishes over the weekend on my Facebook page. Even my team very nicely put up a little happy birthday video for me on my YouTube channel. So I love my team. I love all of you. We are only a little less than a month away from our 1-year anniversary here at Creditor Academy, in which we got to celebrate in a big way. So I'm pushing the team a lot to be in preparation for that big launch, which will be, I believe, on the 20th. The 20th of this month is our 1-year anniversary. With that being said, welcome to Creditor Academy. I want to go through a couple updates before I get into today's topic, which the topic of today is the Great Depression and the birth of the commercial system, how we got ourselves into this first place. It's going to be a very dramatic story, very good one. You need to hear it, and you need to know its significance and its importance. With that being said, I have some updates, One of the big updates, I was talking with my team the other day, and we were talking about the school itself, Creditor Academy. And I made an announcement last week, I believe, to the public about the schooling model that we have here at Creditor Academy. And I really love the schooling model of a Montessori. I went to Montessori private school for a Montessori for from first grade to 8th grade. And so before I went to high school, I love the Montessori method because it's move at your own pace. The teacher meets you where you are at in your learning, and you progress to the next level of the learning after you have passed or mastered the subject that's in front of you. So what was great about it is there were some years that I was moving really fast, and other years I was a little bit slow. So it kind of balanced out for me. But my brother was so good at Montessori, he actually skipped a year in his schooling because he got so much of his work done. I love it. I think it's a great model. Our instructional designers actually taught at Montessori schools, and so they already familiar with the method. I'm very lucky that they had that experience already. I was like, really? You already know about that? Like, oh, Michael, you hired us. We know what we're doing. And I was like, oh, that was great. So now we have that Montessori model here at Creditor Academy. With that being said, I made the executive decision yesterday that the name of the company has got to change. It's got to. We got to. Oh, you should have seen that when I announced that in my morning meeting. I have a morning meeting every day at 8 a.m. And like, we're changing the name of the company. All this branding we've been doing, Paul Michael, you're going to change it all. I was like, yeah, right before our 1-year anniversary. What do you think? Yeah, they hate it when I do that. So I want to announce the new name of our company by showing you our updated logo. It is Creditor Academy, a private Montessori association, a PMA, a private Montessori association. So we're very excited about this. And it's going to really elevate, I believe, your learning. And I think it's also going to, not only that, enhance your learning as well. Unlike a traditional educational system, you remember when you were in college and you did a quarter class? What happens if you failed the quarter class? You got to retake the quarter, man. You know, you're just like, oh, I got to redo it. And you're like, yeah. But with the Montessori, it's not like that. It's self-paced. It's not like a video game where you get to the 50th level and then you finally died on that level. And then what? You got to restart the whole game again? I never had that in Zelda, or in Super Smash Bros. They always just did what? They restarted the level. That's all they did. You didn't have to restart the whole game when you died. It was just that level or where you recently saved. It's the same thing with the Montessori. You just restart the level. You don't restart the whole grade, which is frustrating because I've had some times where I had to repeat a quarter because I didn't do so well in class. And I was like, oh, I have to wait for everybody to teach to get me back to where I was, because I already know this information. Yeah, so it's a lot. And then you have to pay for the class again. Oh my gosh, who wants to do that? So anyways, we're a Montessori. I'm excited about it. A lot covered there. So we're Creditor Academy, a private Montessori association. That's the big news. Next big news is the LMS system. Tomorrow, our new website is going to be launched, and a lot of exciting things. High level, here's a little bit of a share, what it kind of looks like in the back end of Creditor Academy. I'm going to quickly go through this. You have your homes, your courses, your groups, your catalog, your users, surveys, organizational units. You have also your profile. You have your calendars. You have a lot of stuff. There's over 5,000 capabilities to the platform. Here is the home page of our website. Very exciting stuff. And this will be launched tomorrow as well. You have each of the pillars down here. You have freshman, sophomore, junior, senior year. Your freshman is Sovereignty 101. You have to discover the foundations of sovereignty, your legal identity, and how the system views you. Then after your freshman year, you go into, or freshman quarter, you go into your sophomore quarter, which is become private. You have to learn how to step outside of the public and establish your affairs in the private. This is your SPC. This is your status correction. This is your ID and badge, all included in the become private in sophomore year. Then you have junior quarter, which is operate privately, which is master how to manage a private business association or a trust without relying on the public system. We're going to talk a lot about the public system and how we got into this business trust, private membership associations, wholesale real estate, taxes, and a bunch of things that we cover. How to acquire property, protect property, buy cars in the private, all of that. Then your senior quarter is unlimited credit. This is where you're a capitalist. So you unlock the secrets of accessing unlimited credits through trade lines, high limit cards, and other things through the credit bureaus. So there you go. There's just a high level description about it. I love this website. It's looking clean. It's looking good. It will be launched tomorrow. So for those who are members, you'll be able to log in and get access to all of the to our courses as well as the community. Now, everybody who becomes a member gets freshman quarter, Sovereignty 101. Everybody who comes to our academy. The sophomore, junior, and senior level, they have different tuition rates, but just being a member, we want everybody to know what it means, to know the foundations of their sovereignty. Okay, with that being said, let's now go into today's discussion, which is a really big one. It's a really big one. I want you to kind of sit back. I want you to recline if you're sitting in a chair, and I want you to just listen to a story. I want you to have this story go in one ear and out the other. And I just want you to bring yourself back in time with me. And I want you to hear the story about how we got into this commercial system. Okay. Chapter 1, the Great Depression and the birth of the commercial system. In the smoldering aftermath of the Great Depression, a nation on its knees cried out for relief, and Franklin D. Roosevelt answered, not with liberty, but with the shackles forged from the ink of his New Deal. This was not salvation. This was a master stroke of global financial alchemy Behind the noble mask of progress and humanitarianism, the Roosevelt administration erected the scaffolding for a system of voluntary servitude so vast, so intricate, the generations would be born into it without question. The New Deal was not a deal with the people. It was a contract with the private banking cabal known as the Federal Reserve, a foreign entity that posed as the savior of a fallen republic. To stimulate the economy, to restore the faith of the people, the United States Incorporated mortgaged its soul. And what was the collateral? It was you. You, the living man or woman, were pledged as surety for a debt that could never be repaid. This silent agreement, never disclosed in the public square, was brokered in the darkness of desperation. They needed your consent to make it lawful, and so they disguised it as a gift, a number, a card, a future. The Social Security Act was enacted not as an act of benevolence, but as a hidden transfer of ownership. The Social Security number, SSN, is not merely an identification tool. It is a nexus, a point of binding, linking the natural man to the commercial fiction. A legal entity, a person created in your name with your name in all capital letters. And this entity became the financial instrument for the system. The acceptance of this number marks the moment the sovereign soul was tricked into acting as a trustee for the public debt. The American people, unaware of the legal trickery deployed against them, embraced the SSN as a symbol of inclusion, a gateway to benefit, security, and protection. But what they were really accepting was a set of invisible chains. The sovereign man, made in the image of the Creator, endowed with unalienable rights, unknowingly consented to be governed, not by the natural laws of the land, but by the commercial codes of a corporation masquerading as a nation. This was the greatest sleight of hand in modern history. The people did not lose their freedom in battle. They signed it away line by line, benefit by benefit. To understand the gravity of what was done to us, we must travel further back to the post-Civil War amendments, specifically the War Amendments, the 13th, 14th, and 15th. These were not merely amendments. They were constitutional renovations designed to convert the organic republic into a commercial democracy, a plantation of consent. The 14th Amendment in particular redefined what it meant to be a citizen. In direct response to the Dred Scott decision, which held that no man of African descent could claim citizenship in the United States, Congress devised a workaround not to elevate the status of the former slaves, but to reduce the status of everyone to that of a federal subject. The United States citizen, as defined by the 14th Amendment, is a corporate fiction. It is not the same as a citizen of one of the sovereign states united. This new form of citizenship was a trapdoor to a new legal reality. By accepting the SSN, by enrolling in the New Deal programs, every man and woman in America unknowingly abandoned their birthright as free inhabitants under the Constitution for the United States and became beneficiaries of privileges granted by the corporate Constitution of the United States. This seemingly small linguistic change concealed a massive jurisdictional shift. where once the people were sovereign and the government their servant, now the people were reclassified as wards, dependents, and infants under plenary control. The Constitution of 1787 became a museum artifact, while the operating system of the country switched to one based entirely on commercial contract. The sovereign movement exists because a growing number of men and women have woken up to this truth. We are not United States citizens. We are not legal fictions. We are living souls, men and women of flesh and blood, endowed with divine rights that no government has the authority to grant or revoke. The 14th Amendment is not our salvation. It is the instrument of our capacity. We were never meant to be citizens of a corporation. We were meant to be free inhabitants of the land governed only by natural law and common law, not the codes of commercial system that sees us as a debt instrument and energy batteries. The illusion of benefit and protection is nowhere more clearly seen than in legal principles established under Ashwander versus TVA, specifically Rule number 6. It declares that the people cannot challenge the constitutionality of the statute if they are benefiting from it. Do you see the trap? In exchange for benefits, for comfort, for pension, for welfare, for safety, the people unwittingly waived their rights. The moment you apply for benefits under the federal system, you are admitting jurisdiction. You are telling the machine, I am yours, regulate me, control me, bind me. The sovereign man is replaced by the compliant citizen. The republic is replaced by the democracy. The land is replaced by the corporate jurisdiction of the sea. With this silent agreement in place, the government no longer needs to hide its total control. It invokes the Commerce Clause, expands its regulatory power over all things under the claim that everything is commerce. Marriage is commerce. Childbirth is commerce. Labor is commerce. Your very breath, your thoughts, your creations, commodified, classified, regulated. And why? Because you agreed. You signed the forms. You took the number. You voted. You licensed your activities. You participated in the system. And in doing so, you entered into contract. But the sovereign knows the truth. The sovereign sees that the entire system operates on presumed consent. There is no money, only debt. There is no law, only code. There is no freedom, only privileges. The Ashwander Doctrine codified this Faustian bargain. So long as you feed from the trough, you cannot claim injustice. You have sold your soul for security, but the sovereign man or woman does not seek benefits from Babylon. We seek liberty, and liberty requires sacrifice, knowledge, and most of all, courage to withdraw consent. Takes a lot of courage, no doubt about it. Let us be clear, the Federal Reserve is not federal. It has no reserves. It is privately owned banking cartel that lends paper to the government at interest while the people act as collateral. The SSN is the account number of your trust, the Cystic KV trust, created in your name when your birth certificate was registered as a financial instrument. Your labor, your property, your potential, all pledged to pay off an impossible debt created out of nothing. This is not theory. This is the bedrock of the international commercial system we have been tricked into serving. The sovereign understands that there is no money, that there is only credit and debt. The dollar is a promise to pay, not an actual payment. In such a system, all things are contractual. The government becomes a business and the people become the employees. Your life is a commercial transaction. Your worth is measured in numbers and ratings, credit scores, and insurance policies. The law becomes uniform commercial code, not the Constitution. And under this system, your rights are not inalienable. They are privileges, revocable at will. The sovereign movement exists to awaken the sleeping giant, to remind the people that we were never meant to be owned. The Federal Reserve and its agents have no power over the man who knows who he is. When we step outside the public system and reclaim our private status, when we dissolve the adhesion contracts and revoke our consent, we begin the long but sacred journey back to freedom. Not the kind of freedom they advertise on television, the kind that lives in the soul that breathes through the Constitution that is recognized by the divine. This is a choice before us: to remain voluntary servitude under the United States corporation, or to reclaim our status as free men and women under the organic republic and original republic. To do so is not easy. It requires knowledge, sacrifice, and really a spiritual awakening, if I was to be specific. It demands that we see through the illusions of the system and have the courage to act accordingly. It means recognizing that our participation in the system is what gives it power, and our silence is consent, our ignorance is compliance. But there is a path back. It begins with understanding the nature of trusts and legal fictions created in our name. It continues with taking action through UCC filings, notices of status correction, private trust structures, and the lawful refusal of benefits that come with strings attached. The sovereign does not operate in dishonor. We do not evade responsibility. We simply declare that we are not property. We are not sureties. We are not persons. We are living souls, and we choose to govern ourselves. The revolution is not fought with weapons, but with knowledge, not with violence, but with lawful notice, not in courtrooms of the adversary's design, but in the spiritual and mental liberation of the people. The sovereign movement is the resurrection of the American spirit that said, no king shall rule us, no priest shall own us, and no corporation shall enslave us. It is the rebirth of a nation within the hearts of the awakened, and it begins with a simple truth: you were born free. At Creditor Academy, we follow the path to this freedom. Our step-by-step program is to free you from the chains and the bondage that this corporate commercial banking system has enslaved you under. It begins with your freshman year. Your freshman year is so that you know everything about your sovereignty. It's Sovereignty 101. It's the foundations of sovereignty, your legal identity, and how the system views you. Then you need to, after you have gotten the foundations of your learning on what sovereignty is all about and how it was taken from you and how the system views you in society, which is commercial chattel, basically. Now you need to take action. You need to learn how to set yourself up outside of the public and establish your affairs in the private. This is your SPC. This is your status correction. This is your ID and your badge, your private ones, which is really an extension of your federal status as an American national. Then, after you've become private, you now need to learn how to operate in life privately. You need to master how to manage a private business association or trust without relying on the public system anymore that exchanges your rights for benefits. Then you need to know how to play the game. You need to unlock the secrets of what all of these Rockefellers, all of these banking cartel systems are using, which is accessing unlimited credits through trade lines, high limit cards. You'll know the credit bureaus, rewards points, and so on, and realizing that these are just fictitious numbers that meant to keep you mentally enslaved, but really have no meaning at all. At Creditor Academy, this is almost our 1-year anniversary. It's a big one. I've been working all year in developing my team for the most comprehensive platform to bring you from start to finish, from sovereignty to success. We have over 30 full-time staff, all with bachelor's and master's degrees across 9 different departments. We're a full-time industry working around the clock, 24 hours a day, to create this most comprehensive platform and doing strategic business partnerships like with Cypher Learning to bring you the best learning management system that even the universities use. We take seriously so much the learning, the detailed step-by-step learning to your success, because everything is on the line when it comes to reinsurging the American spirit. So I am your host, Paul Michael Rowland. Wow, almost a year now. Went by in a blink of an eye. Already had my birthday. Isn't that wild? Came so quick. But I'm more than determined than ever in this next year of Creditor Academy that it'll be our biggest year yet, because now we have our foundation, we have our structure, we have our great team, and we want to fully invest in your success. If you would like to become a member of Creditor Academy, get access to Sovereignty 101, to an amazing community of like-minded individuals who are all on the same track that you can connect with. And if you want to be a part of a movement that we're starting, please go to creditoracademy.com to join us today. Take the first step. So I want to thank everybody on YouTube for joining us. If you have not joined our private Facebook group, you should do that. We have over 3,500 members on there. Wow, that is greatly climbing. If you have not subscribed to our YouTube channel, hit that notification bell. I'd be excited to get all the latest updates here at Creditor Academy. And I hope to see you all in our live classes very soon. Until next time, everybody on YouTube, take care of yourselves and your loved ones. All right, there we go. Got that done. Let's go to Larry.